Talking all things entertainment, this is Sherry Pullum in the studio with Dreamers Unite. How to build a strong relationship with still standing podcast hosts Will Thomas and Lynn Simon Thomas. Hey Dreamers, and welcome to In the Studio with Dreamers Unite. You know, I am always grateful and honored every time you come to spend time with moi. So this is a community where we dream, share, and manifest. And listen, we also need your support, right? So go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Whether it's your first time coming to this channel or you've come over and over, if you have not yet hit subscribe, what are you waiting for? Okay? We have incredible guests on every single time that I come to you. And today I have two extra special guests. Yes, I do. Look at them looking at me. I know you say, Sherry, you always say they're special, but they are. Well, these guests are also my friends with a podcast called Still Standing, because they have been married for 20 plus years. I'm talking about Lynn Simon Thomas and Will Thomas. Well, they are both actors extraordinaire. They are both print models. And, well, Lynn, maybe she can say she's a comedian too, but Will actually is the professional comedian. So, okay, without further ado, I'm also the comedian right now. So welcome, Lynn and Will. Thank you so much. And wait a minute, I don't think I mentioned that they are my long time friends. Yes. Weddings together, raising my children. They're auntie and uncle to my kids. So yeah. Oh, long time. Okay, both of you. Yes. Let's just dive right in. Okay. 21 years, right, of marriage, right? So how are you still standing? And also you've said that you married your friend. Yes. So do you think that that's the secret ingredient, that friendship part?
I absolutely do. I think it's important. I think, when you meet someone that's not exactly like you, you don't want anyone that has all your same habits, but someone that compliments you. And that's what Will does for me. I think it's a compliment. And that's why I think we're still standing. What would you say?
Ditto. No, I would agree. I mean, you want to make sure that you have something you're with someone that you can engage with outside of the, exciting stuff, right? There's got to be something else there, something of substance. And when you have somebody that you can trust with, trust your vulnerabilities with, right? You know that they're not going to abuse that and take that for granted or anything like that. That's when you have something special.
Yeah. And so what inspired you? Who thought of this idea of Still Standing? What inspired you to start the podcast?
It was all her. Everything is her idea. She comes up with the ideas, and then I got to execute.
Yeah, we're like Walt Disney.
Wow,
I just come up with the ideas, and he execute on it.
See, a lot of times she doesn't always think things all the way through. It's like, yeah, we should do this, and I'm like,
I'm an idea maker.
But it takes. All right, what are we going? How are we going to do that? What are we going to? Have you thought about all the stuff we're going to need to do that? No.
Well,
that's your job.
We're just going to get it done. It's just going to happen. Automatically, it's going to happen. But you know what happened? We were talking one day, and we had friends that were, got married the same time we did. And some of them were going through a divorce or just, having a rough time. And literally, I was like, why are we still standing? How is it? What is it that we're doing that's so different that we're still standing and we're, and that's how it came about. And really, we were like, let's do a podcast and let's talk about our journey. We're not professionals and we don't claim to be, but
we may play one on TV.
Yeah, we may play one every now and then, but we just wanted to share what makes us tick and what works for us.
Well, what works for you? So, like, let's give our dreamers out here one. And again, people, listen, I have said it a number of times. Everyone is a dreamer. Everyone, okay? But we're not just talking about dreaming. And we always, Lynn, I love it. Like, you have like every idea possible, and that's what a dream should be. And then it's execution time. Okay, dreamers, and that's what we're talking about is execution time. So. That's what we're going to talk about with relationships. What or a couple of offerings, what makes it work?
Yeah. I'll say what I think, communication. Everyone.
That was what I was going to say.
Oh, now you got to think of another. You got to think of
else.
something else. But communication, you really have to be able to really let your partner know what's happening, and not shut down. And if you do shut down, not for long. Because to be honest, there are times when I'm like, oh, I better not say anything just yet. So you have to be able to, not let those times go by like a day, a week, a month, because that's when you start getting a little bit of a grudge then. So really you have to communicate. At least that's what I think works for me. And
yeah, I mean, it's any relationship is the strength of any relationship is on how well that the two people in that relationship communicate, right? Whether it's a spousal relationship or your boss or your kids or whatever, if you don't have good communication, that relationship is not going to flourish, right? So you've also got to be comfortable with being honest and vulnerable with somebody. So like I said earlier, making sure that you feel like you can trust them with your secrets or whatever it is that like everybody has things about them that they feel like I'm not the best or whatever. Flaws. They have flaws, right? And you feel comfortable trusting and showing those flaws to that person, and that they're not going to use those against you, right? So it's being able to trust somebody with your flaws and knowing that they're going to be there for you and help you build through those, and get better. Yeah. So I would say definitely communication and honesty. Yeah. You're going to have anybody that tells you that, oh, we never argue, we never fight. Somebody's lying. Yeah. Right? Because if it's two people, you're never going to see things exactly the same all of the time. Yeah. Right? Somebody's going to have a different opinion. Right. And people are going to be afraid sometimes to share their opinion because they don't want to hurt somebody, or they're afraid that how they might take it. But if you can honestly share those thoughts and not do it in a hurtful way, that's the key, right? Communication.
Yeah, communication and being an active listener, like the communication to learn how to do that. So one day I'll have you come back and we'll do a whole podcast on just active listening, because that is an art in and of itself. It is an art. That's an art.
And absolutely.
It's a practice.
It's a practice, because you have to be able to not, because we're all thinking about what we're going to say next. Yeah. We're all thinking about what we're going to say next, and we're waiting to jump in. It's like jump rope. It's like, what, I'm waiting, let me in, right? Yeah. And you're not really listening if that's happening, because you have to be still, and you have to kind of take it all in. So you're absolutely right. It's the listening skills as well.
Yeah, it's the listening skills. Okay, so what is your mission for when someone comes to your podcast? What do you really want them to get out of this podcast? What kind of impact would you like to make with Still Standing?
Really for folks to, look at their partner, in a respectful way, to not judge them, to be able to respect them, like I said, as another human being. Because we go into marriage and I thought it, you think you're going to change folks. You think like, oh, I don't like that about him. I don't like that about her, but I'm going to change that. I'm going to, I know when I was younger, I thought that. And then really, you asked about 25 years, 21, 25. Did I put that out there?
Hey, look, man,
I
we
said
only got 4 more to go.
But you're going to still be standing. It should be another 50 years. What you talking about?
Yes, thank you. Yeah. But you think about it, when I got married, there were things about Will that I didn't care for, and I'm sure there were many things that he didn't care for about me. And you go into these relationships thinking you're going to change someone, and that's just the opposite of what you should be doing, because you should not try to change anyone. They have to change themselves. You can't change anyone. So I think we hope that folks, when we have guests on the show, really to express what they're going through, and then we can, share what we have gone through. Hopefully that, as you always say, we'll give them those little nuggets,
There's the nugget. Lynn, why don't you just throw that little nugget out to the camera?
Yes.
Yeah. There's a little nugget. Do not try to change people. Really, the only person that you can change is yourself. Yes. You cannot change anyone else. Lynn, give me that nugget, girl. Okay. Boom. Yes. And a boom again. That is really valuable. Good stuff. You want to add in something?
Yeah, I will say that, like Lynn said, we're not professionals. We're not therapists, right? I would say that I would like people to see our show and listen to our show and kind of be entertained by a real couple that has challenges and is still dealing with those challenges and is still standing, right? We want to inspire people to feel like they can make it through whatever they're going through if they've seen, examples of that, right? So maybe growing up, you may not have seen a strong example of a good relationship or something like that, whether it's your parents or somewhere in your family. But maybe you have friends, and so can we be that friend for you, that group of friends that you can look to and be like, they've got a healthy relationship. I like these people. And, some of the things that we do, we're actually in the process of retooling the show. We just redid the logo. We've got a couple new things coming up.
And they have some new cups.
Yes.
I want to say Dreamers Unite inspired those cups.
Yes,
you did. We love your cups.
Yes, you did.
And put my little plug in for my cup. Go ahead, Will.
But we do there's a couple of games that we play. Like there was I can't remember the name of the game, the card game. And it's basically you have to try to do something for your partner without them knowing. So like you try to get them to sit on the couch and watch TV with you, but you can't be overly aggressive with that. You kind of be coy with it, and you get points with it. So you go through, you pick out the cards of what you think you can get your partner to do in that week, and then you tally up at the end of the week, and you pick what is your prize if you got the more points than your partner. And it's just a little fun game. And so what we're trying to do is just kind of inspire other couples to engage beyond just the everyday, got to go to work, got to come home, got to feed the kids, got to walk the dog. Do something else, to keep that fire going.
Amazing. Okay, so where can people find Still Standing Podcast? Where can they find it?
So our website is lynnandwill.us, .us, but I like to say .us because it's about us.
Of course.
And from there, you can see we have our Instagram channel on there, which is Still Standing with Lynn and Will. And we also have a YouTube channel, same thing. But you can get to everything from lynnandwill.us.
lynnandwill.us. You can get to everything. Okay, so listen, you all have worked together too, and you're working together on this podcast. And I've known you for many years. Lynn and I used to audition together.
Oh, way back. Sherry would get the job, but that's
so did Lynn. If I didn't book it, she'd book it. If she didn't book it, I book it.
It was fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Always, never competition. Just always rooting for each other. So how do you work together? Because you both are still in the business. I know you're both in the corporate world too, but you're also still actively, acting at times. You still do your comedy. You still do your singing. I didn't mention you're also a singer. So how is it to really work together and then also be in the same industry together?
It's been great. I think we encourage each other. It's, if Will has an audition, I'm so happy for him. I'll help him run lines. If I have an audition, the same. So we'll run lines together. It's like having a built-in partner, and another actor in the house. So it's been great.
And I will say, I think we're like she said, we support each other. We're like each other's biggest fans. Because I think any artist has that, oh, I didn't do it well enough, or I'm not good enough, or whatever, that doubt. And like she can sing, right? And she'll hear herself and she's like, oh, I didn't sound good. I'm like, what are you talking about? You sound great.
I think you sound good.
And so I'm always there to kind of pump her up, right? Let her know that she's better than she thinks she is, to give her that gas to go forward, right? And she does the same thing for me. So when you have somebody, again, that communication, when you can honestly share your thoughts with somebody like that, it's just a benefit. And so both of us being in the industry, knowing how challenging it can be, and how difficult it can be to, it's easy to get beaten down by the industry, right? So when you have somebody that's a champion that's in your corner, it's even better.
Because I always say, we used to say this to each other as well. The job is yours if it's yours.
That's right.
That's right. You go on the audition and you give it your all, you do your best, and you leave. It's yours if it's yours.
That's right.
Right?
That's right. Because no one can ultimately take anything away from you.
Absolutely.
That belongs to you. Ever. Ever. It can never be taken away from you.
Everything happens when it's supposed to.
Yeah.
You know?
Everything happens. Just like you two coming today.
Yes.
It happened at the
We've been
perfect
talking
time.
about coming for a while, but everything happens when it's supposed to.
It is. So listen, this is my last question before we move on to our next segment, which is question and answer time soon. So, Will, why did you want to marry Lynn? And Lynn, why did you say yes? Why did you want to marry Will? Why did you say yes?
I want to hear his answers first.
Of course. Wait.
Yeah, I was going to say, Will was kind of like, as soon as I said, Will, Lynn was like, thank God it's not.
Yeah, you know, I did. I was like, I can relax.
Yeah. Okay. No, honestly, I felt comfortable. You know, when we were dating, I felt that she was a genuine person. I didn't feel that she had anything to hide, right? And I felt that, again, talking about vulnerability, I felt that I could let my guard down. And I was like, okay, this is somebody that I could see being with, right? I don't feel like I have to protect myself, because I've been through, you know, we've all been through relationships, challenging relationships, right? Instances where somebody is kind of taking advantage of your niceness or whatever it is, right? I didn't get that from her. She had a genuine vibe, and I was like, okay, why keep searching? You know, there's no point in, you know, like, is there something better out there? No, just, you got something good. You got a gold nugget. Let's take it. So.
Yes.
I love the nugget.
Yeah.
We just keep it. For me, I actually prayed for Will. I honestly prayed for him. I had just gotten out of a really bad relationship, and it had been 4 years since I had been out of that relationship. Literally, I would sleep with my Bible every night. I would pray, and I said, God, the next person that you send my way, this is what I want him to be like. I want him to be able to get along with my family, because family is so important to me. You know that. Same for you.
Same for me. Yeah.
I want him to have the ability to be, you know, in the arts with me, to be able to, you know, someone that's in the arts, let's put it that way, and be kind. I prayed for a kind person. I literally prayed. I mean, even down to the looks, I'm vain. But I did say, God, I want him to, you know, look a certain way. And God knows me.
Notice that, Will, even though you are beautiful, Lynn, but notice, Will, that wasn't on your priority checklist, or was it if you didn't say it?
Look, man, I mean, look, it's no secret that the physical is what attracts you first, right, most times. Yeah. But it wasn't the most important thing, because, like I said, I wanted to make sure that I had a relationship with somebody that was genuine, and she has a light that I think just shines, and you can pick up that energy, that aura. And so I was like, all right, yes, it just, you know, the looks was the cherry on top. Let's put it that way.
Okay, that's amazing. The cherry on top. So Lynn, finish. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
I literally I prayed for him, and so when he asked me to go to dinner after we met in New York, and in an acting class, and when he asked me to go to dinner, I was like, wow, okay. Again, I had been in a relationship. You know, when you get out, you're like, you know. But after I got that question, I said yes, and literally from the first date, it was on. I just felt comfortable. We talked. We had a great time. We talked on the phone back then. It wasn't texting, guys, like you do now. We actually talked on the phone.
Yeah, it's such a foreign concept.
It's a foreign concept. But it was, those, when you hang up at 3 a.m. and you still have energy to go to work and you feel good. It was one of those things.
Oh, that is beautiful. Well, I am personally glad that you said, because of course I knew Lynn first, right. Well, but. You two are like my brother. She is my sister, and you are like my brother. And so you both are. It's just, don't get me started, because I could get emotional.
No.
But we're going to move on to our next segment. Caller and answer. Next. Or question and answer, I should say. Next. We are back with question and answer with Will and Lynn. All right. Are you both ready?
Ready.
All right. So here is your question.
Hello, Will and Lynn. Although you have accomplished much in your lifetime with regard to your careers and family, do you ever feel that you're not being true to yourself when you're not 100% engaged in your acting, singing, or comedy careers?
So I wanted to surprise them. That is such a great question from Rhea. And I wanted to surprise them because they're their very, very dear friend. When I told her that you were going to be on the show, I'm like, you have to do a question for them. So take it away.
What her question was, if we feel that we're being true.
When you're not doing your craft. Wow.
I absolutely wish I could sing and act and, do all of that 100% of my time. That's literally what I think I was born for. When God created me, I think he said, I'm giving you this, I'm giving you a voice, I'm giving you a okay face, I'm giving you a personality, I'm giving you the tools that you need to perform and to make people feel good about life. So if I could do it 100%, I would. So I guess I do feel like I'm cheating a little bit if I'm not doing it.
Okay, that's truth, real talk.
Yeah, I would agree. I do feel like there are days where I feel like, I'm not doing what I should be doing, and I feel like I'm cheating, as she says. But then there's other days where I'm like, well, I act like I like my job, so I'm doing acting. I'm good.
You are doing it.
I could use what I'm doing in a future role somewhere. All this stuff that I'm doing in corporate America, I'm like, I know what they think. I know how managers think.
Yeah.
Give me that role, I'm good. So, it depends on where I am sometimes, and, where my mood is. But there are days where I feel like I am not doing what I should be doing, and I feel like I'm an imposter.
Yeah, but you're not. Yeah. I mean, ultimately, I believe that your journey is your journey it's a reason for it. Yeah. And we're really ultimately where we're meant to be. Absolutely. But those little heart's desires, those callings for going out and fulfilling your dreams, that's what this show is all about. So, Lynn and Will, get on out there. Get on out there. Yes. Rhea, thank you so much for your question.
Yes,
it was a surprise.
It was a great surprise. Love you.
Yes. Well, dreamers, we always have something special on this show. So we are now moving on to segment 3, the dream game, coming up with Will and Lynn Thomas. Next. We are back, and it is time to play the dream game with Lynn and Will. Are you both ready?
We're ready.
All right. So...
Wait a minute, I spoke for him. Are you ready?
You know what? I'm used to you speaking. It's all good.
They're still standing.
We're still standing.
Yes, even after this interview, they're still standing. They're still with us. Here's the dream for the dream game, okay?
Okay, now we're set.
Okay, so Lynn, I'm going to start with you.
Okay.
When you were little and you had the dream, we always have the dream of who we're going to marry. Was Will that person in your head that you're going to marry?
He absolutely was. Really, I always, thought I was going to be a famous singer. I was in a choir for years. I was winning all the local talent shows, and I just knew whomever I was going to marry had to be in the entertainment. It had to be that side of the coin, and he is. And just like I said earlier, just a kind person. Just someone that's not afraid to be kind and just show kindness. I needed that. And yes, he is that person.
How about for you? Well,
did I dream about being married as a kid?
Well,
that wasn't what, guys don't really do that.
No, when you had your dream girl at some point, your dream woman, was it Lynn?
Yeah, because, someone that is beautiful. I'll say that. That's, you always want the nice looks. But again, it was always somebody that I could be comfortable with. I was always interested in being with somebody that made you feel special, right?
Yeah.
And you didn't feel like you had to protect yourself too much because you know that they were going to be able to take care of you. So, I would say yes.
Awesome. Okay, so Lynn, Will, I'm going to start with you this time.
Okay.
I'm going to be so linear here. What do you think are some of Lynn's blocks or fears that maybe prevents her from pursuing some of her dreams and goals?
So
she perked up for that. I just want to let you know. Did you see her? Did you see her perk up a little bit? Mm-hmm.
I will say. So we have this thing between us. She trusts nobody. Like she has. In fact, when she calls me on my phone, it has a little picture of the emoji of it says "trust no one," and I know it's her. And so I think that's part of the what blocks her is because she's so skeptical. And understand it in this industry, you have to be guarded because there's a lot of people that are not genuine, right?
That's right.
But I think sometimes it's a little too much. She goes a little too far with that, and I think she's got to let that guard down a little bit and trust somebody somewhere. But I think that's it. And also, there are times where she just doesn't believe enough in herself. She believes in herself, but there's times where she's singing and she's like, I don't sound good. And I'm like, yes, you do. So I think
that's true.
Yeah.
Have you heard both of those from him before?
I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's true. There are both of them are very true.
Okay. So the true meter is ding 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 ding. Okay. So Lynn, and really I'm doing this too for you both so you know that you're in each other's corners.
Yes.
And that you're rooting for one another to reach those goals and those dreams.
Yes.
And then what are the blocks that maybe you haven't identified? So Lynn, how about Will? What are his blocks or his fears, do you believe, that's preventing him from reaching his dream?
Yeah, I think for Will, it's funny, he just said that I trust no one.
I know exactly what you're saying.
He trusts everyone.
I don't know that that's necessarily true. I don't know that that's necessarily true. I may be more trusting.
Yeah, he's more trusting.
Everybody.
Where there are times when I'm like, ooh, nope, not that person. And sometimes that it comes to fruition. He's like, oh, wow, you were so right. And so I think, if he can just be a little more cautious.
I've gotten there. I've gotten a lot more jaded after 21 years of being like, I see through stuff.
He's heard this before too. So it's some of the pitfalls that I think we both have to work on.
How can you overcome it, you think, that fear?
Well, for me, I think the overcoming part is I hear her in my ear a lot now, right?
Oh, I love that.
Before, yes, I probably was a little too green, a little too trusting of people. Yeah. And I think the universe put her in my life for that, right? Because, she said we met in New York. Before I moved to New York, I was contemplating moving to LA or New York, and I landed on New York. Mm-hmm. Had I gone to LA with as green as I was, I might not be here right now.
The Hollywood
right?
people.
So it was beneficial for me to have someone like her in my life to help me see things differently. And so, like I said, I hear those things. And so I think I hear her in my head a lot. And I think that is helping me overcome that trust everybody type.
I love it. Lynn, stay on his
Yeah, she's on the shoulder. Yeah.
Stay on the shoulder.
For me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the last question for the Dream Game. You all are doing fantastic. Aren't they doing fantastic? Listen, if you all could see in the studio, my team that's here, they are laughing. They are having a good time with this. So what in the next year, one or two things do you see achieving together as a couple in the next year? What would you like to do? What's your dream for your achievements as a couple?
We would love Still Standing to really take off. We
have to be a little more consistent.
Yeah, we have to be more like you, Sherry.
So we have to be more like you. We run the most consistently inconsistent podcast on the planet.
Right.
Yes. Which so like I said, we were retooling some things.
Yes.
And we've actually got a schedule that we're working on to produce episodes a little more regularly. So yes,
we're working on
we would love to be able to have that repetition
within
and that
a year.
rhythm going and have more of a following and be able to impact more people.
Yeah. Well, this is a place where we claim, and that's what we're going to do, claim and affirm. So I want you all to go to Still stillstanding.us.
Yes.
Yeah.
LynnandWill.us.
LynnandWill.us. Okay, I didn't get it right, but
it's okay. I was with you.
LynnandWill.us.
Oh, wait,
Okay.
was that not supposed to?
Yeah, and let me tell you something. Here at Dreamers, for me, I like to help to make dreams come true. And again, I'm going to offer it again in front of the community. I will help with that podcast to help produce anytime. They haven't taken me up on it yet. But I said to them, listen, I know what it takes. And, at first, you're just do what you're doing. You're dreaming and you're by yourself first. I've been there. You're the dishwasher, the drummer, you're doing it all. The cook, you're doing it all. But it's so wonderful, my dream team. I'm going to look out here at all of you.
And they're great.
Yes. It is so wonderful. Good. So it is that consistency, though, and your belief in yourself that starts to help other people come on board. So there's my offering again.
Okay.
So to help those dreams come true.
Thank you.
I am, I don't want to get teary-eyed, but I can easily. But Lynn and Will, really, I just am so proud of both of you.
Thank you.
Because I know both your journeys.
Yes.
And I'm really just truly honored to be in your circle and in your presence. And, I wish you all the best. And listen, still standing.
Yes.
Let's grow. And let's grow together.
Yes.
Dreamers unite and still standing.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Yes.
Thank you so Thank you.
Can I get it?
Yes, no.
Okay, I'm reaching over. I don't care. I'm breaking all the rules. Whatever.
All the rules.
I'm breaking all the rules. That's what we do here on Dreamers
Yes,
Unite,
I
too.
love
Listen, we don't just get confined by big boundaries. There's no limitation. All right.
I love it.
Listen, dreamers, thank you so, so much for enjoying this episode with us. And really, remember, hit that subscribe button. We need your support. We're a community that is growing, we're dreaming, we're sharing, and we're manifesting together. Like with these really special guests, Lynn and Will, we have so many more guests to come. So support us, okay? I know you don't want this episode to come to an end, and I don't either, because we have had a fantastic ride. You better have had your seatbelt strapped on tight, because it was a great journey with Lynn and Will. I thank you both so much. Listen, dreamers, now is the time for dreamers to create the world we wish to see. So let's get to it. Don't delay on your dream, all right? See you again next time right here in the studio.